Hello everyone and welcome to another racing weekend starting today with Fast Friday Round 3 at STRAKKA in LC Racing Circuits. With me in the live stream as usual, Luke Carmona.
Hello, hello.
This is gonna be the first road course of this season of Fast Friday, not the only one but just the very first, and no other than STRAKKA, nowadays one of the most popular and consolidated tracks in the calendar, present in several categories along the history in the last years, and definitely one of the favorites of the community.
Yeah, so it seems. It's got a wow, great start. My mind's already going blank. I have made some changes to this circuit in regards to off limits for these cars in particular. We'll just start with that bit, because as we know, over the past 5 years, anytime you go off track, you hit a slow zone, and the car will slow down as though you're on pit lane. Those kind of pit area slow zones. For this, I have adjusted it, so there is, we'll say, leniency. There's a lot of grass areas instead because these cars are capable. They have the option to be slowed down via different methods, not just via pit area. So there's a lot of actual grass runoffs. There's still a few pit area runoffs for serious sections that could be very easily cut. But with how heavy and stiff these cars are around here, I figured it'd be good to give people just a little bit of leeway, because I mean, we generally trust our drivers around here for the most part. If it was any more chaotic, and if people drove with no considerations and as though it were an arcade racer all the time, then yeah, we'd probably try and penalize people a bit more. But in this case, no, I want to try and give people that chance to, hey, you run off track, your race isn't over. You're just going to have a little bit of a loss of speed.
Yeah, I could notice before that there were some parts where there are still slow zone, of course, like the carousel, but other parts where you actually just step on it and you have this dirt effect when stepping on it. That is not like the usual pit speed that we get in the slow zones, but something a bit less aggressive. So yeah, for this cars particularly very necessary, in my opinion, because they are cars that are a bit tough to drive in road courses, in my opinion. Even if they have the GTSS as a base, which is a car that race in this kind of races, in this kind of tracks very frequently, and they're really nice. Feel nice in these environments. The stock cars are a bit harder in that sense because they don't have that much steering power. So yeah, definitely it's appreciated, especially because for people that I mean, it's true that usually we have people here in the Fast Friday that are usually involved in the rest of our categories, but it's true that if we take into account that it is an oval series in general, stock cars are mostly raced in ovals, it's fine to consider those that race here because of the oval experience to have something more adapted to what the average oval racer would need in a track that is not an oval, like STRAKKA is in this case.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how the new draft system for what version are we on right now? 4 point, or no, I already forgot what version this is. What version of car is this?
The car is
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. So the 2.5 drafting system, which it was really only designed or tweaked for faster oval racing. So when you get up to high speeds, you want to push someone to work together more. We do get moving that quickly for the second half of the, well, let's see, after turn 1, from turn 1 up until the carousel. There's a point about half of that whole distance we're moving fast enough to activate that high-speed drafting system. But you obviously have to be right on someone's rear bumper for that to work. I'm just wondering how much it'll play into this here. It's not really going to have too much interference, I'd say. I wouldn't just say interference, but it's not going to have much effect, I'd think, because again, you have to be lined up right on someone's rear bumper, and it's only for a fairly short distance. So the only thing that's really going to happen is the car ahead might just get a little bit of an increase in power, which is how the draft system works. It's not actually, a physical force pushing on the car. It's just simply the power increases a slight bit.
Alright, so let's do a few laps for the people watching the stream to see how this looks like. I was doing some laps before. Good time on this track are the 33s, but it's true that it's more usual that the average time of the people, someone who's enough consistent, is the 34s and even 35s when the tires are worn enough. Because these cars, of course, it's well known that the longer you stay on track, the slowest it is, at least in ovals. But the difference in ovals is not that much, it's a few tenths. On these tracks, of course, the difference when you have used tires, very used tires, is way bigger. Here I'd say it's to the level of being 1 second slower, maybe a bit more even.
Yeah, I think there are ways to adapt to that, just with the way these cars are scripted. You just have to adjust your racing line, and when you lift and swing the back end around the corners, you can still keep a relatively similar lap time. I'd say I don't think I've driven long enough to... I've not driven around here long enough to wear the tires out to nearly zero, maybe down to 32%, so I probably haven't felt the full effects yet. I don't even know if we're going to be racing for long enough to get to that point with the tires. I don't think we have pit stops for these, do we?
We do, because I think in road courses there are 30 laps instead of 50, right?
Yes.
And this car lasts 20 something laps, so
oh
yeah, we'll have one pit stop at least.
Okay.
Yes, for those that don't know, Fast Friday, the oval races are usually 50 laps each race, but for road courses, as they are of course way longer, like double the length, the races are shorter in terms of laps, at least, because in time I think they are still longer. So yeah, that's how it is. I see some comments in the chat, let me see. Hello Turkey, hello Yorkie. Fenizo saying that Evely blocks. Yeah, everyone is spamming that fucking gesture now. What have you done, Evely? You better wish I do not start in front of you, or behind you, or near you. So basically, if you start close to me, you're gonna mess it up, right? That's the goal.
Who said that?
Evely.
Oh.
She wants me to force another gesture. That's the thing. I already know it. More Rao says, I'm afraid. No reason to be afraid. I mean, it's gonna be chaotic. I mean, if ovals are already chaotic, usually these cars in road courses are definitely be chaotic, but it's still possible if you race smart enough to just get rid of the people that are gonna collide, because there are gonna be people around you that's gonna collide with each other. That's 100% secured. So just try to be smart, try to be patient when you see two cars ahead and wait until they do the turn, for example. If they crash against each other, it's your opportunity to go there. Don't go wheel to wheel like with other car in a turn if you can avoid it, because that usually leads to that kind of collisions that other people take advantage of. And try to close the gaps, the turns, the most you can, so you can avoid someone dive bombing you and causing that kind of incidents as well.
I am fully expecting complete and utter chaos, simply for the fact that just the nature of SL racers these days, or maybe it's always been like this, but at least right now, a lot of people aren't so patient, and they'll just kind of push and shove, and not a lot of waiting, not a lot of lifting early. So, again, I've gone over this before a number of streams ago, but if you've ever watched real life racing and you get a big pack of cars that take off from the line and they're coming in on turn one, do you see them all crashing into each other as though it's a bowling alley and everyone's a bowling ball trying to hit pins? No, they all slow down, and it's like they're all going really, like the people in the middle and the back, they're going really, really slow because they have to patiently wait their turn before they can accelerate and make passes again. In Second Life, that doesn't happen. Everyone is full throttle into the corners and just pray that you make it. So
I mean, that's true that there's a big difference there, that in real life, if you do that, besides that you can kill someone, you can also, like, be fired, you can also destroy a car that values hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions if we are talking about Formula 1. Consequences that in real life, in Second Life, you don't really have, so... Yeah, I guess if there were that kind of consequences, maybe people would be more careful. But yeah, Second Life is a bit gives you the license to imagine.
And this is where people say, well, why don't we have damage in the cars? Because historically, in Second Life, the people who are trying to avoid having the accidents in the first place often come out of it worse than the inconsiderate or lesser skilled.
What more? Turkey says, we need a game where obstacles should be heavily and we should escape them. They are still talking about heavily and the gesture. You can be lucky they don't give me a lawn mower. Xfinity Portland Turn 1. That's a reference for you, I guess, Luke.
Sorry, I kind of missed that last bit. I was looking at how many people were on.
Xfinity Portland Turn 1.
Yeah, they call it the Festival Curves because it's a festival, all right. Watching the chaos that tends to happen there.
Turkey says, in Second Life nothing happens, but if you could add health to cars, so damage basically, it could be different. It used to be, but it didn't really... It's what Luke said a moment ago, it didn't really help. In many cases, those that had actually chances to win, maybe they are ruined because they have a lot of damage in the end and they cannot...
Yeah. So, as I'll repeat, because I mentioned it maybe 5 minutes ago now, we do not have damage because historically the people who are attempting to race cleanly and fairly and do everything they can to avoid contact end up getting the most damage.
We have now Candy talking. Welcome everyone to round 3 of Fast Friday. Okay, let me put the not available mode. Today we'll be doing twin 30 laps races instead of the usual 50. As mentioned before, for road courses laps are less because they are longer. For those of you joining us for the first time, we'll be setting the line up for the first race by what the keyword outputs. That output will be reversed to set the lineup for the second race. Emily says, I do a bit of sim racing. I am used to what can happen, like with little bumps that could have big impact on you, so it's better to not have it in Second Life. There should be other consequences then, that should make avoid them. I mean, in the big categories, usually the most controlled ones like GTSE, GP1 especially, we have we really take a good review to all these incidents.
In the bigger series, Grand Prix 1 and GT Super Endurance and such, we actually give warnings and sometimes we'll black flag people if they're driving dangerously.
And drive-throughs and stuff, yes.
And all that sort of stuff, yes. So we do have penalties, but this is Fast Friday. It's not that kind of series. It's just a casual show up and drive kind of thing. So you can't come into the races like these expecting much, really. If you want super clean, organized racing, then there will be leagues coming up. I think Anthony Stewart, he's slowly bringing back SLASCAR, which is more in that vein of rules and regulations and such. And you might find some cleaner racing there. But inherently, for any of these free to show up, drive, and race kind of deals, it's always going to be crazy. It's always going to be a bit of a mess, depending on how many people show up and what their skill levels are. So you have to come into these races with low expectations and just kind of try and have fun where you can. Someone's got to finish in last place. That's what I think. Or coming to these races, like the Carmaner 500, someone's got to finish in last place. I nearly did. So
It happens, it happens. We just need to admit the result and that's it. Nothing happens if you finish last, you know? First,
Yep.
entrance. Candy keeps talking. A couple of things to go over before we start because this is an unusual track for this series. First, entrance to the pit lane is tricky. Make sure you slow down sufficiently to get into the pits. There's a fairly large pit window today, so it shouldn't be too much of a traffic jam. Anyways, something I wanted to mention, even if it's a series for fun and stuff, where we are not that strict as we can be in GP1 or GT Super Endurance, still don't troll intentionally. Try to be the most careful you can, try to race cleanly, and that kind of stuff. Second, please try to stay to the left as you exit pit lane. While there's not enforced penalties for crossing the yellow line today, you have nothing to gain by doing so other than enemies if you cause a massive accident merging improperly. Any questions before we get the lineup for race 1? Remember, join the queuer, this yellow thing here, in order to join the race. Otherwise you will start in both races at the very last positions. Aquila, back to the chat, welcome back. With Second Life current control setup, asking for digital input to be accurate enough to avoid collisions is a big ask. So punishing people too harshly for an accident can lead unfair scenarios. Yes, we usually can tell for sure that we, in the cases where we really take actions, are those that are someone intentionally collides over someone, or those that really feels like they have no control at all of what they are doing on track, because
Oh my gosh, there are 18 people racing today
jeez.
on a road course in the stock cars.
Wait, okay, I have to adjust my...
I'm starting in 14th. Woo! I predict an Emmy Blueberry victory. She's starting in second.
I hope I send my support to Emmy, the reigning Grid Games champion or first place medalist. JC is gonna join. JC, that surprisingly, the surprise of the market, he's joining LCR. What was that?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll talk about this now. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? I can't remember anymore. It's all fuzzy for both of us. He woke up from a hangover.
For context for people, let's say that I mean JC and Luke, of course, they are friends. They respect each other, but they are two people that have a lot of different opinions always. And since season 1, when JC won GP1 with him and left the team, JC always looked for being the rival of LCR and defeating them everywhere. So it's surprising.
Well, he didn't leave with the express goal to defeat us. It's just that he and Eli were so close at the time, and they wanted to start their own outfit, and they did, and they were a very good rival in that respect. And he still loves the time that he was with us in that first Grand Prix 1 season. We took him to the title. Granted, I did screw up a few calls, and we lost some valuable points as a result. It still worked out in the end. And yes, we've had our disagreements. We still do, plenty of times, but they're respectful disagreements in the effect that we don't get mad at each other. Really, I mean, I'll get mad sometimes, but we don't have drama.
The usual when you have an argument with someone, but at the next day you're friends again.
Yeah, more or less, yes. So, I asked him a couple nights ago if he had any GTSE plans, considering he told me about a month ago at this point that he no longer works on weekends, so he'd have more time for this sort of thing. Apologies, JC, if you don't want me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway right now. He said that no one wanted to drive for him. He couldn't find anyone, so he didn't have...
I cannot believe that.
I don't know. All the drivers that he wants are taken. So he wants to be competitive if he's going to run a team. If he didn't think...
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So I suggested he could race alongside Kira, and then I'll jump into the car number 70 with Marcus and Tron. And away we go.
Starting, by the way.
It's starting. So yeah, he is with LCR for this season. Just gave him a shot. He and Kira work really well together. They love talking with each other, and I think they've been teammates before. Maybe, I don't know. They're commentary teammates, so now they're driving teammates. Oh gosh, T-boned. Oh, and I lost steering at the same time. Well, that set me back. I am second to last.
I am fourth, but struggling.
You said fourth?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you've got all kinds of traffic around you.
Well, but not by, for much time, because I'm fighting a lot with the cars behind, and I'm not catching up the cars ahead, so...
Yeah, it looks like Morty going up the inside, or trying to. Malachi? Malachi suddenly just stopped driving altogether for a moment there. Didn't look like steering loss, he just lost.
Ah yes, this is something that also Stuart was reporting before, that he had a lot of steering loss. We tried different things when he was here, but we didn't find really what was causing the issue, and he didn't race in the end, I think.
It seems a bit isolated. He was telling me all about this too. I suspect that he has a key failing, because I've had this issue before as well, where my left key, because I would, obviously with over racing, you use the left key a lot, and at one point the keyboard just gradually failed, and it was I was losing steering, and then suddenly the key just stopped working altogether. So it could be that, or it's, maybe he has a, I don't know if gestures have any influence in that kind of control surface.
Could be actually, yes.
But I'm suspecting it's one of those two. Maybe most likely a key failure. Because if he was having that issue, then a whole bunch of other people would be having the same issue. Clifford was telling me last night, actually, that, whoa, geez, Clifford, speaking of, suddenly jams on the brakes, like he hits the parking brake right in front of me, so I crashed. Clifford said that his steering loss issue, because it was happening very frequently, was because he was having issues connecting with the DNS server.
Wow. So specific.
Yes. I don't know how he figured it out, but... I'm in 10th. 7.8 seconds back.
I'm still P5 but we are still quite close to each other in the first position, so maybe I have chances to fight for stuff. Emi is, by the way, leading the race as you were predicting. We'll see for how long.
Oh, has she got cars right on her tail there?
Ice Lawson. So she's now in a fight with that was Morty, right? The Iowa car. Morty's P2,
okay.
Evely P3. They are now leading. Morty passes Emi, and Evely passes Emi as well. Now Emi is P3 with Morty P1 and Evely P2, Zenitho P4 and myself P5. We are still quite close to each other. Ooh, the Lawsons here. Still they do not lose much.
Yup.
if you all keep fighting like that, I might catch up.
I'm not fighting, I'm just behind them. Also,
No, I'm speaking as a collective for that big whole group up there. Not saying everyone's fighting, but people are definitely fighting enough that it's slowing them down. Because I'm looking at reference points on the track as I come around, and I'm inching closer. I'm 4.98 back right now. So I have gained about 3 seconds or so.
Zenitho is leading again. By the way, Uemi is slowing down there, I don't know what happened, but that gives me the P3.
She's pitting. I'm gonna go in too.
It's too early to pit.
Is it?
No, she was just slowing down there. I guess to avoid the conflict before the before the chicane.
She did have a bit of trouble entering pits though. I think she got cut up on that second wall.
Yeah, the P10 is gonna be... I really didn't practice it, I didn't notice about it until...
TP lag!
Until Candy mentioned it. Wow, who just joined the region. You don't want to know. You don't want to know who joined the region.
Virga?
No.
Do the other people might want to know?
I can tell you when we finish the race. I guess you will notice later. One of the very good friends, particularly good best friend of Valky, back then in Sun Beach 2024, season 2024A.
I have no idea what to bring off of that hint.
Sorry for that, Emily. I was just kinda forced to do that same way as this. Jeez.
Oh, I see the name. Wait, he shouldn't be allowed to get here.
I mean, you just need a multi-count.
Yeah, that looks like an ult.
I'm being a bit reckless right now, but with the traffic really need to be a bit reckless.
Right now I am on Emmy's bumper. We've had clear track the whole time, so let's see what that might have gained us. Although we're P8 and P9 right now, so a lot of people are still running out there. Candy came in and pit a little bit ago.
Let's see how this goes. I'm pretty certain that some people will forget that they have to pay, and they will notice when it's too late.
Maybe. No, I lost steering again. Jeez. Very brief. Emmy and I have blown past Zenizo at the pit exit. Evely was behind them.
They have found Every and I have found Zenitho, so they means that they have pit already.
Turkey says that was a tactical pit to avoid Evely.
I mean, it was partially tactical because it was getting too busy there, and I really wanted to just get rid of it because it could lead to an accident at any point, and we didn't want that.
Emmy and I are P2 and P3. Is it Kree leading right now? I don't think he's pit yet, but he's... That would make sense with the time gap. Kree's in the lead.
Kree leading, one of the best Fast Friday drivers.
Now he pits at 16% tires. Emmy and I, P1, P2. On lap 18 of 30. Oh boy, I forgot we pitched so soon.
Long way to go. You pit already?
Yeah.
So this was the kind of track to pit early.
Well, I mean, if the tire fall off is gonna have any effect, who knows? But I pit early, and I suspect Emmy to avoid the traffic like you did.
Yeah, but I did it by 1 lap, so it was not that much of an advantage in the end.
Got involved in an accident. One of the cars, understandably, took the chicane in the final corners a little bit too wide, so it looked like an opening that closed suddenly. That chicane is very difficult to get right, so.
Yes, with stock, I'm surprised that we are racing with the chicane because it's usually quite hard already with the GTSS to do that turn properly without leading to collision with people, with the stock cars that are even tougher.
Well, it's not that the chicane is like you're not supposed to be passing people through the chicane. The problem that I had with the car ahead is that they took the exit of the chicane too wide, so that final corner right before the main straight, they swung inside and kind of closed the door suddenly.
We should be able to catch you an enemy, but if we are fighting, we will not.
I'm trying not to disturb Emmy. I mean, I'm staying close to her, but I'm trying. Hopefully I'm not messing her up. I just don't want to get too far back from her, because then the cars behind will get my draft. And then I'll have no choice but to try and pass her, because I don't want to get stuck in that pack. But they are coming.
Nah.
I'm gonna try and
I
pass.
lost the draft already. Fuck.
Senizo has moved up into second.
Nah, for me it's done already. Jeez. I cannot reach them anymore, yeah.
My tires are not helping. Senizo is catching up real fast. Ah! He pushed us both into the wall there. Good grief, a 34.8. Yeah, my tires are shot. He has 48%, I'm at 20. Oh gosh, I'm so stiff. Yep, pitting early was not the right idea. Well, I was a ways back to begin with, so with this fall off, assuming I would win is wishful thinking. Oh gosh, it's getting really bad now. I can't. Here comes Evely. I'm just gonna let her by. I'm not fighting her. Final lap. Senizo leads the way. He's got Krikri in front of him. Not that Krikri's slow, but he might hold him up just enough for Evely to catch. Nope. Around goes Senizo. He's just got 2 more corners. And Senizo wins race 1, Evely in second, and myself in third.
God, I didn't like this race. So at some point we were about to reach Emmy and you, so we could be fighting. I could be fighting for the lead, and nah, fighting and stupidly and touching a slow zone too much in a point, and the race is over. Bullshit. But whatever. So yeah, final result from what I see. Where is the result? I didn't see the result. Was P1? It was Zenitho P2, Evely P3, Luke P4, Emmy P5, myself P6, Morty, and then P7 Naomi, P8 Doggy, P9 Candy, P10 Don Romario, P11 Kurai, P12 Mila, P13 Clifford, P14 Krikri, P15 Sam, and P16 Sky, and P17 Malachi, that didn't finish the race. I don't know what happened to him. But the first victory for Zenitho in a race, I think. That's not a race B from GTSS, I think. I don't recall. He won one of those, but in any case, it's the first. I think it's his first official win. So congratulations for Zenitho for it.
Yeah, first overall victory in a big competition. Of it's not FVA again. These stocks are not FVA. They're FVA built, but it's not an FVA series. But it is an official racing league.
Can be considered an official race of a season of a competition, not a random race.
And with that, I think he officially achieves his goal of defeating me. Because he said one day he's gonna beat me. Like, one day, Luke, I'm gonna beat you.
That day was today. He didn't expect it, but most likely, but yeah.
Yeah. Emmy unfortunately got thrown around quite a bit. She said she got dive bombed and used as a brake.
Yeah, I mean,
So, which I mean, obviously with our shot tires, we were going to be way off the pace. So we were basically being followed by sharks. But it doesn't sound like she got past very cleanly.
yeah, I mean, there are winners and there are losers for their own goals and ambitions. I guess for Emmy and I, the result is not what we wanted to be, we expected.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that it's not really that good to beat earlier. I mean, I thought, but yeah, later I was thinking, okay, I know how these tires degrade, so might be actually punishing. If we manage to keep the good pace, it would be punishing for the cars ahead actually in the long term to have pit earlier, but we didn't really never manage to prove that punishment because we were losing time fighting each other. Still, two of the cars managed to get ahead, so yeah, definitely it worked for them to pit later. That would open, maybe opens the window for other cars to try even a later pit than the lap 15, which is more or less the middle. Everybody says, I messed my pit horribly up. What happened exactly?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking Evelyn, yeah. If she's
Oh.
tell us in the chat what happened. Why is this car flying here? Crick. In the meantime, we're having a 5-minute break, which for this race is particularly necessary, in my opinion, more than in an oval, to have this little break. And in a moment we'll be back with the grid that Candy will have to communicate to us in a moment. Heavily says, bumping badly in the wall, sliding it around. I am usually bad taking pits. And of course in this race we are gonna start from the back of the grid, so it's gonna be worse. Okay, we start now in P13. Luke starts in a very convenient P5.
We'll see how that goes. I've got a lot of hungry drivers behind me. And
Actually, you are a bunch of good drivers in the first rows. So I guess you will get rid of the rest and create a little group to push each other. But he says, and I was not too nice to Emmy too, giving her a lot of headbutts after. Only Emmy! Evil. Yeah, I also didn't have my best laps before the first pit lane. There was a moment where I was a bit reckless there, but I was like, I didn't feel I didn't have. The thing is that these cars need a lot of space to maneuver, and if there's not a space for maneuver, you're gonna be reckless because otherwise you don't have any way to drive the car. So yeah, it's shitty, but yeah, I had those laps there that were pretty bad from my side. Now let's see what we can do from P13. Not particularly optimistic, considering there are a bunch of, as I mentioned, good drivers ahead that will most likely escape, but still we maybe manage to get close to the podium at least, or to the first 5 positions. It's JC's bad impact on me, blame him. JC as a teacher, he actually had like apprentices back then when he was leading the first squad of Good Samaritans in GP1. He had Kuroda and Virga, so they were technically his pupils.
Sorry, I kind of missed what you're talking. Like, what's the context? I missed it. It was in I.
Evely says that JC's bad, that her recklessness is JC's bad impact. So I'm saying that JC had other pupils in the past, like Kuroda or Virga. So that's the precedence we have of the consequence of having JC as your teacher.
Yeah.
Starting in 30 seconds now. People to pit the car.
I think it's important to begin saying and repeating over and over again for this race and many races to come that car contact is, generally speaking, not okay. By any means necessary, everybody should be attempting to slow down and avoid hitting people. Because this last race, from what I've heard from a couple of people already, there are some drivers who really need to figure that out. Because you cannot lean on people. You can't use people for brakes. It's just not acceptable. Just drive with the amount of courtesy as though you were in a racing sim or in real life. Don't hit people. You should just...
Wow, Sam, please.
Yeah. A term that I like to use a lot is just because, or well, this kind of term works in this case. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And by that I mean don't run into people, don't lean on people. You don't use the car ahead of you to advance or movement. With road course racing, you just have to be courteous, be kind, don't be an idiot. Yeah.
Happen.
Now I gotta obviously say that it's Second Life keyboard racing. That we can only control our vehicles so much. But if you're not in a pack and you're trying to make a... Oh, geez, Morticia had a bunny hop. She lost all grip on the front tires. Ah! Sorry, Mort. Gonna give her that spot.
Wow, that accident there. Jeez. Grippy and someone else, I don't know who was it, having a bit of tough moment driving.
Yeah.
I can see that there's a group of people already leading that we will not be able to catch up the rest of the race, but the rest of the people are here in a group now.
Ah.
Drivers of Second Life sponsoring this video, considering that we will most likely not do the grid drive this week. Good to mention them as a compensation. Most likely because I mean, we don't know yet if we are gonna do the deep drive. Depends on how I will feel Sunday in the morning, because between Proto Cup and GTSC it will be a tough weekend in terms of race management, and look, suggested me to be rested.
Yes.
For both races, especially GTSC, that is gonna be more than 1 hour. I mean, the race is 1 hour, but considering all the stuff happening before and all the stuff that I have to do in the race, it's gonna be exhausting.
It feels like we're on lap 10 already. What the heck? It's only 5?
Yes, this cars on this track, the laps don't count. They count half. I mean, it would make sense thinking on 10 laps, because that's the time that we usually have spent in an oval to reach the 10 laps, but no, here it doesn't apply.
Jeez. I tried to turn out or away from his fender, but wasn't enough. Just kept dragging him out toward the wall. Sorry, Bailey. Oh gosh.
Gosh, what happens here?
You had 3 cars stuck on each other's right rear fenders, so it was just a domino effect of being dragged out to the grass. No one could turn.
I couldn't do anything, as I was in the exterior part. I was pushing to the left, but no one else was turning.
So it looks like Candy's in the lead, with Milla in second, Morty slowly catching up in third. Don Romario's in fourth, being attacked by Clifford, and I'm biding my time, waiting for an opening. And I got pushed into the grass. Cool. Oh boy. Backing out. 3 wide in that corner is a bad idea.
At least we are still in the lead, not the leading group, but this group of people that's in a decent spot for the first positions.
Not really. The top 3 are gone.
Yeah, top 3, but still P4, P5, P6 that we can still fight for.
So this is when Emmy and I pit, this lap right here. So I'm not making that mistake again. Oh gosh, what the heck? Going wide, because see, that's why I went wide.
Also, the lag didn't help at all. That was, it seems a person left the region, that's why we had that lag there.
Good grief.
We are in a more relaxed spot of the result.
I don't know. I don't really like being in this group.
Don't you like us? I mean, of course you would prefer to be in the leading group. Me too, but
That's not why. Oop. Ah, sorry.
it's okay. We are just too close to each other.
Milla's in the pit.
Just for your awareness, I'm going into the pits now.
Okay. There's a boost to get into it faster.
Ooh, that was a nice pit entry actually. Let's see how good the pit of the leaders was, because with that pit maybe I could even cut some time.
Yeah, a good pin entry is really, really, really important. A lot of people take pin
Okay.
entries for granted.
I am pit, we're not that far from Morty, but still she is ahead. Okay, it was a fine. It was a fine. It was enough to take me virtual P3 at the moment, ahead of Mila.
I'm going to try and overcut Evely by pitting a lap after her. We'll see how that works out. Because the thing is, when you come out of pit road, you have 100% to 90% are cold tires, so she's not going to be up to temps yet. So it's almost going to feel like you came out of pits on 0%. Alright, in I go. Oh jeez, this cure is blocking my vision entirely.
I don't know if you're gonna overcut Evely, but I undercut Evely.
Well, in that case, you'll probably pass me then, because you've had time to get your tires up to temperature. See, there you go, right? Nope, that's Morticia. Here you two come. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh,
that
jeez.
lag.
Ah! Bella
Person.
pushed me into the grass.
A dwarf joined the region. Thorin Oakenshield. For those that are fans of The Hobbit will know this character.
My overcut worked, but now my tires are cold and hers are warm, so I have to try and defend on stiff rubber.
Person standing up there. No, slow some. Fuck. Nah. Lost all better advantage.
So that should be for third place right there, yes?
Yes, we are in the fight for P3. If I manage to stop messing it up with the slow zones, maybe P2, because Morty's not that far.
Jeez, Evely is all over my rear end right now. Just pushing, pushing, pushing. And can't cut the corner there. Thank goodness for slow zones. Alright, my tires are now up to temp. I'm at full grip. Oh, shoot! You guys slow down a bit. It's quicker than I thought. So that was not Milla's fault for her pushing herself underneath you, that was my fault.
It's okay, we didn't lose much time there.
You kinda did, because Evely and I are right here. Oh gosh.
We really should consider to close the region during these events as well.
I don't like to do that with Candy's events. These are Candy's events. She never locks the Sims down, and that's her choice. That's her choice.
I will kindly suggest it in the post-race meeting. Aye.
Ah! Oh, come on. So I tried to lift because I knew that wasn't going to work, and I get dragged into the slow zone. Yeah. Kind of a double-edged sword trying to race cleanly sometimes. Slow zone. Speaking from the perspective of someone watching, man, those racers sure complain a lot. Well, I mean, it's kind of natural with racing. We're competitive.
During the races we complain a lot. Later
Yes.
we then relax and whatever, but during the races it's normal because you are tense, you're fighting for positions, you had a collision. Usually, even a lot of collisions that while you are racing they look terrible. You watch the recording later and they are not that bad. Or maybe you have more responsibility that you thought in the first place. But yeah, during the races this is normal. Then later we are all fine, but yeah. By the way, Morty is now right there, so this fight is actually for P2.
Between 5 cars, which is going to be messy.
Yes. Evelida takes the position over Morty.
I think Morty pit pretty early.
I think she picked with Candy, put me.
I don't know, but Candy's way up there.
Yeah, Candy didn't have to. I mean, Candy has the pace. So yeah.
Yeah, we're fighting so much up here that... Where is she? There she is. Yeah. So, about... At least for me, it's about 7 seconds or so.
Yeah, for me too.
Only 4 laps to go.
Sorry. Aye. I start to struggle with the tires.
Yeah, I've got 10% on you. Ah. Slow zoned. Whoa, what's she doing? Yeah, I will say, yes, with the, to tag on with the we complain a lot thing. Yeah, we're ranting a little bit, but I'm having fun, all things considered. Just for the record.
Having now this very intense fight for P4 between Mila, Luke and I.
And no one really wants to give an inch here. Final lap.
Ah, it was another 2 laps. Fuck, I thought it was the last one. I don't know why. Nah, I just lost all that, all the gap, I think.
No, you still have a chance here. Ah.
Why I thought it was the last one?
Well, I'm not gonna give it up easily. Okay, that.
Well, I thought that. Hey! Okay, I thought that was the last one, and I almost ruined everything. Okay, look. Looking, I mean LOOK, not look. Job. This race, maybe the position is not very different from the last one, but this race felt better than the last one, for me personally at least. Because this one, I think, I fought for what I could realistically fight, while in the other one, I feel like I missed chances that I should have got. I mean, in this one, we also missed some chances. I mean, we could have fought for P2 and P3, actually, but it was different. The last one just at some spots where, I don't know. This one I just felt, even if they are not good results for me, I felt way better this one than the one before. The race in general. And that's the starting wave from the back, by the way. Actually, I got a better result in this one, starting way more from the back than in the last race, where I started way ahead. Still, the only races where I managed to finish ahead of Luke are in those where we finish out of the podium, which means that I'm not really closing the gap to Luke in the championship, because when he's ahead is when he wins the races, and that gives him the most points. By the way, I didn't lead any lap in any of the 2 races.
I guess I led. I barely remember race 1 anymore. I think I was leading. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Emmy and I were leading for a bit.
Yes, in the first race when you stopped before.
I love how anytime these races are over, I get IMs or messages from people saying, I lost steering, or my car went right to the wall. A couple times during the races. It's like, it's good to know that it's the issue still happening, because it means I'm going to try and look into it. But at the same time, maybe people are looking a little too deeply into it, because we've been losing steering for years. So I don't know if how much of it is normal and how much of it is the car's fault.
I mean, it is true that it already happened in the past that the cars were just losing steering. It just feels like suddenly it's happening a bit more. I mean, it's not super frequent. For me, I think in none of the races I had this steering loss. But it's true that, I don't know, when was it? The other day I was doing I was driving the GTSE for GTSE testing purposes, and in a single stint I had the issue twice. So yeah, it's like sometimes you don't have it at all, sometimes you have them all together, and yeah. And it was a free practice. I mean, the scene was empty and everything, so yeah, it's a bit random. My gosh, these gestures. I'm starting to understand. Look, the gestures is well known by everyone that Luke doesn't like gestures.
It's not that I don't like gestures. I don't like when they get spammed and repeated and used over and over and over and over again. That bugs me.
No, you don't like them because I even gave you gestures,
Oh, well,
like
well,
cute
I
ones.
don't. No. I don't like to personally use gestures. Other people using gestures are fine. I don't like when people spam them.
That gesture from
Especially when they're,
Shenmue is great.
especially when the gestures are obnoxious, like the slap scream one. Oh, I hate that
Ah,
one.
the fucking baby. The fucking baby screaming. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one. From the good old GP1 times.
Hmm.
Emily says, I'm innocent this time. Yeah, this last race was better. I also have to say, I really congratulate Mila for her race because she was really fighting both Luke and I in half of the race, the second half of the race, and she performed really well. Really deserving good position for her. Here the podiums. By the way, the podium before it was P3 for Luke, P2 for Evelyn, just Evelyn, and P1 for Zenitho, and now we have P3 for Morticia, P2 for Evelyn, and P1 for Candy. So sadly, no podium for us today. I mean, it's true that I didn't practice this track that much. I only was here yesterday and today a bit. So already fighting for the positions, even if not winning, is quite a good result. But yeah, so that these tracks with the stock cars you need to practice because the ovals you don't need to practice ovals that much as you need to practice a road course. So.
So, and I practiced a lot for this. I think I did nearly 100 laps yesterday.
Wow.
But and this is only a semi rant or complaint, but not so much of a complaint. It's that if you try to race clean in a big pack like this, you're not going to get very far. You have to be super aggressive to, or get lucky with the traffic. I probably should have tried pitting early again and see how that worked out. Because, yeah.
Heavily says, just a taste of what you can expect in GTSC. Sticks tongue out.
Oh, GTSC is going to be a lot different. I'll be a lot more in my zone there.
Yeah, also
Don't
GTSC,
you worry.
it is the event for what people practice the whole week. The same way that I'm gonna be practicing the next whole week for GTSS, which is on Saturday next week. I want to believe that that's gonna be different. My expectations for GTSS are always high. I'm gonna really practice that one, and hopefully that will really, I will really display all my capabilities.
Yes.
Aquila says, when everyone is trying to race aggressively in games that allow it, I drive like my car is an unmoving brick. They don't hit anybody, but I stop moving aside.
That is exactly how I tend to drive. So if I'm in the corner and I have a big pack of cars behind me, I'll hit the brakes. But if I have everyone, because nobody really slows down early enough if they're behind, because you're supposed to lift early if you're behind someone, because that you'll give them space. No one does that. So when I'm in that front pack, or if I'm in the front of that kind of pack and it's like the hairpin, I will hold the brake down and I'll mash the brake. I'll just keep it held down for a lot longer than I usually would because I'm going to hold everyone up behind me. So help me God. I'm not letting people push me out of the way like that. I will maintain my lane in front of you. Just you can stay magnetized my rear end if you want, but I'm not letting you go by that easily.
We have to note this for the next road course of First Friday, which is I don't know when. By the way,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the schedule on me. I will add to that comment though, with the unmovable brick kind of thing. If people, get inside left or right, I'll give them space, but I'm not going to let them push me out of the way. That's the kind of non-moving brick that I abide by personally.
Okay, the next road course in Fast Friday is in October 17th, so there is still one more than a month to go. In the
Over a month.
Yes, in the
We'll,
meantime, we
we'll
will have Luke Via Lady Speedway, Ice Plume Raceway, Key Fuego Speedway, and Canyon City Speedway. So 4 races in ovals before the next road course, which will be Bay Isle, the short course, to be followed again by, I guess, it's another oval, Martinsville from Spitfire Racing. I don't know if you know this track.
have you ever heard of Martinsville in general?
No.
Just okay, look it up online, YouTube. It's a NASCAR track. It's a real life NASCAR track, and it's the smallest track they race on. They nickname it the paperclip.
Alright, then it will be an oval then, another oval in Tartarus, then Herrenhaus,
It'll
which
be
is
think of it like an oval with 2 hairpins. They're not that sharp, but it's a small. It's a short track.
Martinville, let me see.
Martinsville, yeah.
Martinville Oval or Martinville Track.
The Martins with an S. Martins.
Martinsville Track or Speedway. I guess Speedway is the right way. Speedway.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have the Second Life perspective because it doesn't look small to me. But I guess if you're used to watch NASCAR, it's why for them it should look small.
It feels small in Second Life too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the track is smaller in Second Life than it is in real life
Yes.
because we can't get to those scales. But
I
it
see. I
does.
see now. I see now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, a picture with the cars there. There
Hmm.
you can feel it because yes. There you can feel why it actually looks like a Second Life track in real life. Oh,
Um. Yeah, it kind of does.
I mean, look at this turn. I'm gonna share in the FBA, in the NASCAR channel actually, since this is NASCAR technically. It's just zoom these cars, the how sharp is the turn. It feels like Second Life turn of an oval.
Yes, it does. Like,
Yes,
like say Bristol, for example. It looks like
yes.
like our Second Life Bristol, but not as steep. It's got that same distance to it. The straights obviously are a lot longer than our Bristol, but it's got the same kind of yeah. Yeah. So it's designed like a small track. It feels like a small track. It will be interesting to see how that goes. Candy says we'll be racing there October 24th.
Still, there's gonna be some events before. Then we have after that Tartarus Speedway, another oval, Herrenhaus in November the 7th, which is the third and last road course. Then followed by Indianapolis, Cypress Valley, Winterfall Speedway, and Roseland Super Speedway, and that would be the whole Fast Friday event. So 3 road courses in the end. The two of them in LC Racing Circuits, and the last one in Races Island, as Herrenhaus is. Herrenhaus
I
with the stock cars, that's gonna be interesting to see.
well, I mean, it's going to be. We'll get strung out, I'd say. It's not going to be like STRAKKA, because STRAKKA is almost like half of a speedway mixed with a road course because of that long, flat out section for the first couple of corners. But I still don't know what Canyon City Speedway is. I don't know if it's brand new. I've certainly never seen it before. So
So, what do we have for this weekend? Tomorrow, Saturday, at 12 p.m. Second Life, we will have the very first round of the Proto Cup season.
it's at 12.
It's at 12, yes.
Oh, I told someone 11. Whoops.
I mean, they can be there 1 hour before, so they can practice. Perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, sure, but hopefully they didn't schedule anything for like 2 hours later, because then they'd be screwed.
So it's gonna be Proto Cup at 12 Saturday in Anubis Heart, because it's raced in the same track than the GTSC. GTSC that's gonna happen on Sunday at 11 a.m. as well in Anubis Heart. The first races of the season for these both competitions. GTSC that's gonna be in total the fourth season. Meanwhile, for Proto Cup it's gonna be the first.
Yep, Proto Cup. Yorkie stole the words right out of my mouth before I even got to say it in the chat. There's going to be a lot of people there tomorrow.
Yes, I also feel the same. Like I saw a lot of people. I mean, that I'm glad that I see so many people enthusiastic about the series. I really a lot of people practicing, a lot of liveries and stuff. Considering there's a lot of players that by requirements are excluded for that series, there's gonna be a lot of people still. And what I'm glad about is that people that will have the opportunity in a big grid to shine, and to call other people attentions and maybe sign in the future for bigger teams in GTSC and GP1. So yeah, it's good to see that at least we expect to have a lot of people.
Yep, and it's possible that let's not rule out. Just continuing on with the weekend schedule, let's not rule out the possibility of the grid drive. Just if anything, we might start it late, or if you happen to be awake enough at midnight, then we can do it. I personally don't need to go to bed all that early, and even if I fell asleep at like 6 a.m. my time, then I'd still be able to rest enough to race just fine. So.
But how many hours would you sleep? 4?
I can sleep a minimum of 4 hours and feel fully rested.
Wow, that's too few hours.
That's just how my body works.
Yeah, you're lucky, I guess. I definitely, for me, 8 hours feel like not enough. I could sleep 9 or 10, but yeah. So yeah, basically, that's what the schedule for the start of the week is. The season has officially started, so there's not gonna be random races for a long time, as we are used to have some weekends. From now on until end of November is gonna be full GTSC, Proto Cup, and Fast Fridays, of course, and sidecar races. Even if the sidecars won't have a championship per se, but still it's gonna be a regular event every 2 Sundays. So yeah, next event tomorrow, Proto Cup at 12. We expect you all to be there. And as usual, we appreciate you to come to the live stream. We remind you to subscribe to the channel and to leave your like to the stream. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and you contribute to the channel to grow. So if you can subscribe and you can leave your like, it's gonna be very appreciated. Anything to add, Luke?
I've got nothing except for well, no, I don't. It flew out of my head again. Gosh.
Second time that happens.
I am glad that I don't do this by myself.
Alright, then that's it. Thank you again for watching, and see you tomorrow for the Proto Cup series.
Yep, bye-bye.